Well, I'd rather be carrying you across this threshold than this luggage.
You did that already at the cabin.
Well, yeah, but you see, what I was hoping to do was extend our second honeymoon for a few more hours. Now, Kevin and Joey and Tyler are still at the sports camp. And Kim's probably taking Jessica to the park.
Lovely day for a walk.
Yes, so what better setting could we have than a peaceful, quiet house?
I thought I heard you guys come in. You are not going to believe what I've been waiting around to tell you. Oh, and it has to do with your son.
So much for the peaceful, quiet house. Honey, why don't you just tell us what happened?
Cord called me a tramp. That's what happened.
You know, I just don't understand it. I just felt great until yesterday. It's like someone yanked all my batteries out of me.
I'm telling you, Asa, you should have stayed in the hospital longer after you collapsed instead of worrying about Mary Lynn's wedding.
Well, here you go, Pa. This is just like you like it. Hot, black, strong, little sugar, just like the doctor ordered.
Oh, thank you, son. Thank you. Tell me something. Are you sorry you came back to Europe now that you're stuck playing nursemaids for your old man?
No, Pa, come on. Don't be ridiculous. Just glad I was able to get back and help out. You know, when Dee Dee and I got divorced there, the only thing that I kept thinking about was just put it all behind me and just get back home to family. Because I'll tell you what, when you're in Europe without a family, it's just like being in prison.
Before I bring her in, I just want to remind you once more of what we expect in return.
Look, you're gonna get the precious account number, all right? You bring her in here with me.
All right, bring her in. Stand back from the door.
Dee?
Don't ever let me go, Bo. Don't ever let me go.
No. I'm just gonna hold you in my arms. Gosh, I miss you.
Well, this is all very touching. But since I've kept my part of the agreement, it's about time you kept yours.
Listen, you're gonna get what you want, all right? But not right now. I haven't seen my wife in 6 months. I want time alone with her right now.
That wasn't part of our agreement.
Listen, we've upped the ante, all right?
Very well. You can have some time alone with her. But this is the last concession you get. When we come back, you'll tell us what we want to know.
What do they want to know?
I don't know. Listen, are you all right? They hurt
Why
you?
are we being held prisoners in this dungeon, Bo?
I don't know, dude. This is crazy. One minute we're trying to get back to Landview, the next thing I know we're kidnapped.
I don't even know how long we've been here.
Oh, look. It's got to be like, I don't know. It's over 7 months. I can't tell how long. Dude, I never get any daylight down here. The only thing I can go on is just hearing that clock just chime every night at midnight.
Do you know where we are?
No. Those guys have British accents, though. But that doesn't mean we're in England.
At least we could be anywhere.
Yeah. Listen, what about you? Have you heard the guards say anything at all? Anything that give you any clue where we are?
No, the only time that they ever spoke to me was when they would force me to write letters to my family, and they told me exactly what to say in the letters.
Well, what were they about?
They were about you, about what a terrible husband you are, and how unbearable life was with you, and I had no choice but to divorce you. Why'd they make you write letters?
No. Ever since they've thrown me in here, the only thing they do is they ask me questions. Just all these questions about my personal life, about my likes, my dislikes, about family, a lot about family, and about all relationships with everybody that I knew back in Landview.
So why would they be concerned about that?
I don't know, but they beat the hell out of me yesterday. It's okay, no. It's just because I didn't tell them about a cut, a scar,
They're treating us like animals here.
I've got a couple of theories that I've been kicking around. Only one of them seems to make any sense at all, Dee.
What?
It's crazy. It's really crazy. I get the feeling there's somebody who's trying to impersonate me. And why else would they ask me all these questions about my personal life?
Well, I think you're right. I think it's crazy. I mean, if somebody has some facts about your life, that's one thing. But if they're out there trying to replace you, they're going to have to fool your family. I know the Buchanans. They don't fool easily.
The man was insane with jealousy. It's like I couldn't even defend myself. And because of his jealous tantrum, he's accusing me of sleeping with Bo. I mean, Bo and I are friends. Sure, we talk, but that doesn't give him any right to come to this conclusion that Bo and I are sleeping together. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I can't have men friends. Is that it? Well, I'm sorry. That's not exactly fair, you know, and I don't deserve to be hurt, and I don't deserve to be treated that way.
Well, I think it's time Cord learned some manners. Now, I know that he's had trouble with Tina in the past, but he's way out of line this time. I'm going to call him up and tell him so right now.
I don't think that's a terribly good idea. I think a little objectivity is called for. I'll call him. Oh, there's a note from Bo.
What's it say?
He wants us to meet him at Ace's house to meet the specialist he called in.
Oh, no, wait a minute. I knew he was talking to somebody, but I didn't know he was bringing him to Landview.
Yeah. He asked us to meet him at 12 o'clock.
We better get a move on. I'll get the luggage upstairs.
Honey, I'm really very, very sorry. I'll do what I can to smooth things over with Cord, okay?
Thanks for helping.
Come on, walk me upstairs, or I have to get ready to go to Ace's.
Hey, hi, Brenda.
Didn't realize you were home.
Yeah, we just got back. Well, I can't wait to hear all about your trip. Maybe tonight after I get back from the hospital after visiting with Steve.
How's Steve doing?
Well, there's no change, but I'm not giving up hope on him. You know, I've been spending a lot of time with him, and he is such a special man.
Well, you're pretty special yourself to take on his case.
Well, it's not like a job. It's more like, well, it's just more. And I got to get going, so I'll see you later.
Okay.
I'll go home.
Thank you.
Well, that's strange.
What?
Well, you and I know how special Steve is, but how could Brenda? What does she mean getting to know him better?
Must be 125 in here.
I knew this place would still look the same. I just didn't know I'd be so afraid to come in here.
So I'm with you now. There's nothing to be afraid of.
I could have come to get my clothes and Al's on my own. You didn't have to come along.
Look, I'm not letting you out of my sight, especially not what I put you through.
I wish you wouldn't blame yourself for what happened to me here. It's not your fault. You didn't know. Any of the enemies that you might have made, you didn't know they'd come after me.
Listen, I should have been able to put it all together right after Steve had his ventilator unplugged.
Well, none of us were thinking straight at that point. Besides, you can't be the superhero all the time.
I couldn't even make it as a mere mortal. Just when you needed me most, I was running around accusing you of trying to kill my brother. And I don't think I'm ever gonna forgive myself for that.
I wish you would. I have.
No, I can't. Not yet. Maybe when Rafe catches the guy that did this to you, and he's behind bars.
Yeah. I just hope instead you will accept my gratitude for everything you've done for me and Al lately.
I just can't stop thinking how horrible this must have been for you. The only thing that keeps me sane is knowing that finally Detective Johnson's going to quit badgering us and get back on the right path.
How's it going? Come up with a positive ID yet?
Not yet, but I've rounded up several people who fit Gabrielle's description for her attacker.
Have they got alibis?
Most of them. Some fairly credible, some downright flimsy. But I'd say they're all suspect enough to put them in a lineup so Gabrielle can take a look at them. What?
I just don't think the guilty party's going to be in the lineup.
Why not?
Because I think the person you're looking for is going to be sitting on the other side of that viewing window.
If you're suggesting what I think you're suggesting, you better have a damn good reason for it.
Okay. Listen to me. Vasquez couldn't have been responsible for shutting off Steve's ventilator because at the time he was in his rooming house dead. It's my theory that whoever did it had to have easy access to Steve's room. Probably was in a hospital the whole time, maybe right down the hall.
So you're saying you think Gabrielle did it?
Well, at first I got sidetracked into thinking it was Max, but this recent attack on Gabrielle convinces me she's the one who turned it off.
You gotta be kidding me. If Gabrielle was the one who did it, then who attacked her the other night and why?
You're asking the wrong questions. It's not who attacked her or why, but whether she was attacked at all.
Look, Dan, you're talking about a friend of mine, a very good friend. So before you go any further with these half-baked ideas of yours, I seriously suggest that you back them up with some good, solid evidence. Now, what possible motivation would Gabrielle have for wanting to kill Steve?
The oldest one in the book. She's in love with another man.
Who?
Max Holden.
Steve's brother? You're out of your mind.
You think so?
Yeah, damn straight, and I'm gonna prove it, too.
How?
I'm going ahead with that lineup. In fact, I'm gonna set it up right now. I'm gonna go tell Gabrielle myself personally.
She won't pick anyone out of that lineup.
Fine, then I'll keep pulling in suspects until she does.
You mind if I tag along?
Mind? Of course not. In fact, I wouldn't mind if you stayed in Landview till the case is solved. Because I can't wait to see the look on your face when I prove you're wrong.
No, Pa, you look exhausted. Why don't you go upstairs, get some rest? Cord will take you up.
Cord is not taking me anywhere because I am not tired. Hell, I just got up. In fact, I'm going to get the mail.
Well, that's a good idea. Then Cord can take you upstairs. You can read it while you're in bed.
I'm not going back to bed, so stop harping at me.
What the hell is going on? Why are you trying to get rid of us?
Because Ace's new doctor is coming over. He's probably on his way here right this minute.
So?
So I don't want Asa to catch any wind of this until I have a chance to introduce this Dr. Bruner to Vicky and to Clint. Okay, and to you, too, of course.
I hate junk mail. Would you kindly tell me why I need to win $1 million, huh?
Hey, Asa, come on now. Why don't you just forget about the mail? In fact, why don't we go outside for a walk, check out the garden?
That's a good idea. I'll check my roses, see if the heat's bothering them.
Thank you, my good man.
Welcome. Glad you came by early. I was just about to call Elizabeth. Is there any word from our prisoner? I mean, has he come up with that Hong Kong bank account number yet?
Not yet. But according to Elizabeth's sources, it won't be long before he does.
Well, Lord Henry has to get his hands on some cash to replace that money that he filched from Alex Crown's Swiss bank account. You know, Alex Crown's will is going to be read next week. That leaves no room for any delay.
True. True. But our prisoner never had as much to lose as he does now.
What if they're watching us?
No.
What if they're listening to everything that we're saying?
I don't care.
Listen, we're together now, and that's all that really matters.
I don't understand why they're letting us be together. I mean, up until this point, we've only gotten to see each other through iron bars for a few seconds.
I know. Dee, listen, I demanded that I was able to see you.
Well, why would that matter now?
Because apparently I've got something that they really want. Bad.
What?
For the past couple of weeks, all they've been asking me is about the access code to my Hong Kong bank account.
They put us through this hell for the money in your Hong Kong account?
Dee Dee, that's it. If somebody's trying to impersonate me, that's when they need information. Right now, they need cash, and they need it fast. I told them that they're not going to get anything out of me unless they brought you to me.
Is that the deal you made with them that you were talking about before?
Yeah.
God, don't you? If you give them that number, they're going to kill you.
No, Dee Dee.
afraid your time has run out, my friend. Come on. No! And if you don't give me that account number, your pretty little wife's time will have run out too. Your wife dies if you don't tell us what we want to know.
You're bluffing.
No, I'm not. No. She's of no use to us anymore. The only value in her life right now is to get you to talk.
Yeah, but I'm not going to tell you anything if you killed her. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to say anything anymore anyway. Unless you let her go, let her stay right here. From now on, there's no more separate cells.
What are you making nice with him for? Let's show him we mean business.
Put that down. I said put it down. Well, it seems I have to make another call to my superiors. But I warn you, this is the last time.
How did you know that they weren't going to kill me?
I didn't know, but I wasn't going to let them. They would have to kill me first, Dee.
Risk it.
Because we have to stay together. That's our only chance to escape.
Escape? What are you doing?
Come on, listen. We have to stay together because it's our only chance to get out of this place alive.
We don't even know where this place is. And once we get out of here, we don't know what we're facing ahead of us.
Yeah, but at least we've got this to face it with. Look, I know this isn't much, but at least it's a start.
Bo, you're gonna fight off armed guards with this? God, they're gonna kill us.
Dee, listen, hey, if we stay here, they're gonna kill us anyway. Don't you see that? We have to try to escape. Like I told you, since I've been here, they've been asking me nothing but questions about me, about my family. They've got reasons for that, Dee. I don't know how or why. But they have to know that information. And I know they're using that information against my family.
Well, it's my understanding that your father is suffering from the effects of a mind-altering drug. With all due modesty, I have to confess that I have done a bit of groundbreaking research in this area.
He is being modest. Dr. Bruner's had great success treating several patients who suffer from the same effects that Pa seems to have.
Have you had a chance to examine Asa yet?
Oh, not yet. I wanted to meet the rest of the family. I feel it's absolutely imperative that I have your consent to take on Mr. Buchanan as a patient. Now, Beau's diligence and concern have already convinced me that the entire family wants nothing but the best for your father.
Well, that goes without question, of course.
So, I have your consent?
Welcome aboard, Doc.
Will you need a place to stay? I'm sure we can arrange one for you.
Well, you know, I was hoping that Dr. Bruner could just stay right here with us, if it wouldn't be too inconvenient.
Oh, not at all. I prefer to be nearer my patients. I mean, one never knows when an emergency might arise.
Then I guess it's settled, huh?
Well, all except telling Asa.
Yeah, I know, Clint. You know, he's liable to fight us on this.
Only one way to find out. Where is he?
He's in the garden with Cord.
I'll go get him.
I know that you are concerned about Ace's reaction, but I do believe that in time he will come to realize that you've done the absolute best thing for him. And then he will be as grateful and as appreciative as Clint and I are now.
So have you seen the progress they're making with that new wing?
No, I sure have. You know, I think it is absolutely the perfect place for Clint's Center for the Blind. In fact, if everything goes as scheduled, I think we're going to be able to open in the next couple of months.
Fantastic. That's great. I'm glad the escrow fell through on that other property you looked at. I like having you around here.
Well, thanks, Larry.
So, the recreation area, how's that going?
If you have a minute, I'd be happy to give you a tour or let you see for yourself.
Fine. I got time. Let's do it.
Hi, Steve. It's Brenda. thought we'd do a little more reading today. We still have Wuthering Heights to finish. You interested in a little Catherine and Heathcliff, or, let's see, maybe some of your journal? Let's see, we stopped yesterday, so we're at April 1st, 1988. Okay. Today is April Fool's Day, so I thought I'd record the time I played myself for the biggest fool going. It was shortly after I moved in with Gabrielle, and she had been working so hard to meet a fashion deadline that I figured I'd prepare dinner. No, not a mere dinner. A romantic evening complete with candles.
That refused to stay lit. And beautiful flowers that tried to make their escape a couple of times. And duck à l'orange. I must have studied that recipe for hours. But, of course, seeing the success that I was having with the candles and the flowers, I did check on it every few minutes to make sure the duck hadn't up and decided to fly south for the winter. I rented a tux and stood waiting for Gabrielle to come home, trying to strike my most debonair pose. Unfortunately, all I could come up with was a cross between Cary Grant and Charlie Chaplin. Finally, Gabrielle rushed in.
Steve, oh, I'm sorry I'm late. Ooh, what's all this?
A romantic dinner for two, mon chéri.
Guess who else is coming to dinner? Ooh, sorry to interrupt. I ran into Gabrielle down at the Holden Towers. She insisted I come up.
Of course, later, Gabrielle apologized for inviting Max to dinner without checking with me. And I accepted her apology because I truly believed she was sincere when she offered it.
Looking back on it, though, I suppose I could have saved myself a lot of grief and heartache if I had only opened my eyes to what was really going on in Gabrielle's head when it came to her and Max. So why didn't I? Why couldn't I? Because I loved her, that's why, and I still do. April Fool, Steve. April Fool.
What else do you think Al's gonna want?
You'll be terribly frantic if you don't find his pull train.
Pull train. I can't find it.
Look under the sofa.
I did.
Well, look again.
Great. Oh. Nope, it's still not there. I think his choo-choo's on its way to Chattanooga.
It's got to be here somewhere. I know. I saw him playing with it earlier. Oh, I don't know what it is. I was getting changed.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have we come at a bad time?
He's back.
Sorry for my appearance. It was so hot. I'll go and put something on.
Good.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, Max. I should have called first. We went to Holden Tower, and the clerk said that you and Gabrielle might be here. I didn't mean to surprise you like that.
Oh, it's no problem. I mean, we stopped by here to pick up some of Gabrielle and Al's things to take back to the hotel. I was going to call you, see what's happening. You saved me a quarter.
I managed to pull in some suspects. I'd like to do a lineup and have Gabrielle take a look at them. Maybe I got lucky.
That would be great. Yeah, what if he's not in that lineup? What if he's still out on the loose and tries to attack me or even Steve?
Don't worry about Steve, not with the guard we got posted around the clock. Are you sure you don't want a guard posted here, too?
No, we're not going to be much longer.
Okay, I just want to let you know that I scheduled the lineup for tomorrow. I'll have to get back to you with the exact time.
Thank you, Rafe.
Hey, let me walk you out.
Don't be nervous about the lineup. the suspects won't be able to see you. And if you see the man who attacked you, just point him out. We'll do the rest. Maybe by this time tomorrow, the nightmare will be over. For all of us.
Yes, hopefully.
Dr. Brunner, thanks again. I don't know how we'll ever be able to repay you.
Oh, just seeing Mr. Buchanan well again is payment enough.
You take care, Clint. Hey, thanks for your support.
No problem. Honey, I'll see you when I get home.
Okay, drive safely.
Bye-bye.
When can we get started, Doctor?
Well, I'd like to examine you right now, if it's all right with you, Mr. Buchanan.
Oh, it's fine with me. Call me Asa. If you're going to poke and prod me, we should be on a first-name basis.
Come on, Asa. I'll give you a hand. Walk up.
Cord,
Okay.
would you mind letting Bo help Ace out? I need to talk to you about something, please.
Well, can it wait?
No, it's kind of important.
Well, that's all right. Why don't you just stay put? I'll take care of Asa.
I'm sorry, Vic. You seem a little upset.
I am a little upset.
Oh, well, I hope it's nothing that I've said or done.
Yeah, it is. Both. Apparently, you said some very unkind things to Tina. And quite frankly, I think you've done her a terrible disservice.
Why do I have a feeling this got something to do with what I said to Tina about Bo?
It does. Cord, really? Bo is your uncle. Why on earth would you accuse Tina of having an affair with him?
This waiting is making me nuts. The longer those two are away, the more convinced I am that they're not going to let us stay together.
Dee, they have to, because I'm not going to leave this place without you.
I could just remember where my cell was if I could tell you, but every time they brought me to see you, I had a blindfold on it, and it was far away. The route was, like, complicated, and
It's either that, or they may be just leading you around in circles. You know, in a pattern. I mean, blindfolded, how could you tell that? Shh, they're coming back.
Well, once again, you seem to hold a winning hand. My superiors have agreed to allow your wife to stay here with you.
Oh, thank God.
But you must give me the access code now. And if it's not the correct code, neither of you will see another day.
You know, we haven't seen the light of the day since we've been in this pit anyway.
The code, Mr. Buchanan.
All right. 06 02 88 06 21 8807. You got it?
Oh, yes. And it better work.
you give them the right number?
Yeah. Dee, listen. I heard one of those guards telling the other one that's going to take their bosses at least 24 hours to get that transaction through.
And 24 hours to kill us.
Dee, come on. No, listen, we've gotten this far. Don't give up on me now.
What hope is there, Bo? We've been here for so many months.
Yeah, Dee, listen. We never thought we were even going to see each other again. Did we? Listen. I'm going to get us out of here. I promise.
Introducing a totally new kind of antiperspirant protection that glides on. New crystal clear Arid Glide On. Not a crumbly stick.
So, that's it, Vicky. That's my side of the story. Now, listen, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you mad.
I'm not mad. I'm concerned. Why don't you sit down? I really think that if you don't somehow learn to control this jealousy, it's going to eat you up.
I tell you, Vicky, that woman is like, I don't know, something in my blood. Every time I try to get over her, she just does whatever she can to keep from making it easy for me.
What do you mean? The fact that she's spending time with Bo?
Yeah, that's part of it. But it's like every time we are together, I don't know, she just makes it real clear that she still cares about me.
But you know that she does.
I know, but that makes it very difficult for me to put the relationship behind me. And it's also very difficult for me because I don't have Sarah around anymore to get my mind off my problems.
You two are not still seeing each other?
No, not really. Listen, I can't blame Sarah for not wanting to get involved with a man who still has got loose ends to tie up with his ex-wife.
Well, neither can I, but there's no harm in your being friends, and I think that's what you need right now, a friend.
Well, I would love that, quite frankly. But right now, we're hardly even talking anymore.
Can't you talk to her, open up to her?
Well, I've tried that, believe me. Sarah doesn't want to be hurt, and I can't blame her. I don't want to hurt her, Vicky. Listen, thank you for your concern. I really appreciate it, but right now, I really would like to go check on Asa. Unless you need a lift home, I can give you a ride.
Excuse me, that's okay, Court. You know, I can see Vicky home if you want to take care of Asa.
Well, thank you, Bo. Thank you. Honey, everything is going to be fine. I'm sure it'll all work itself out. You'll see.
Thanks.
Well, that center's going to be wonderful when it's finished.
I know. I just can't wait to see it operational.
Yeah. This shouldn't take long.
I don't
Oh, Sarah.
Hello, Clint.
I'm just on my way to try and find you.
How are you? I was just giving Larry a grand tour of the new wing.
It's going to be fantastic, Clint. Thanks to your generosity, that facility's going to benefit a lot of people.
Well, having been blind myself, I know what it is. And if I'm able to provide the means to help just one other person, then it'll all be worthwhile.
Sure will. Listen, excuse me. I want to just stop in and check on Steve.
Sure.
See you later. So, let's go down to my temporary office and we can talk in private.
Actually, I was hoping that we could put business on hold for a little while. First, I wanted to talk to you about Cord. Now, I know that what may or may not be going on between you is none of my business, but I'm very concerned about him.
I know, so am I. I just don't know what I can do, Clint.
Well, I think what he needs more than anything right now is a friend. Someone that's there for him, you know? And I'm not asking you to babysit him or nursemaid him or sacrifice yourself for him. But if you could just spend some time with him and let him know that what's happened between him and Tina isn't the end of his world, well, you'd not only be helping Cord, but you'd be doing me and the rest of his family a big favor as well.
I'd be happy to help you. After all, how could I refuse after everything you've done for me, huh?
Thank you.
So how about that tour?
Oh, I'd like to stop in and see Steve. And I'll meet you down in the center in a little while.
Okay, I'll see you later.
All right.
Oh, look here. Welcome home.
Oh, Brenda, still at it, huh?
Yes, sir.
Any signs of improvement?
Well, I haven't noticed any. Brenda's been here a long time. You've noticed anything?
No, but I'm not through with him yet.
Nah.
And, by the way, I wanted to ask you something. Larry, do you think that you could help me get a period of leave from my work there in Arizona so that I can stay here and do some more work with Steve?
I think it's a fantastic idea.
You do?
Sure. Matter of fact, why don't I make some calls to the right people? We'll get the ball rolling.
Oh, that's great.
All right.
Thanks, Larry.
No
Yeah.
problem.
I'm going to just have a few words with Steve, and I'll be down at the center. I'll meet you down there.
Fine, Clint.
Let me get my book. Excuse me.
Well, partner, this may sound kind of funny, but you're a pretty lucky fella. You got a brother that loves you, and a wife that loves you, and a very special lady that's taking care of you. And believe me, I know what it means to have somebody trying to help you up out of the darkness. I only hope you come back to us in time to meet Brenda, because I know the two of you would hit it off. You're gonna make it, Steve. You just hang in there. You're gonna make it.
Go ahead, say it. I know you've been dying to ever since we left Gabrielle's house.
Say what?
Finding Max and Gabrielle alone together like that proves that they're having an affair.
Well, now that you mention it.
Yeah, well, forget about it. I've been friends with Gabrielle a long time, and unless I find some hardcore evidence to the contrary, I'm convinced that Gabrielle is innocent and that she will eventually identify her attacker, maybe even in tomorrow's lineup.
I hope you're right. I also hope you put in a ringer or two.
Of course I did. Got a couple of my men here. We're going to use them as fill-ins. There you go.
Couldn't you find someone who looked more like the sketch?
Well, they're a pretty close match, Dan.
Not close enough.
This is a lineup, not a trap. And I resent you implying that Gabrielle would deliberately identify somebody just to get herself off the hook.
Would-be murderers have been known to go to great lengths to avoid being exposed. Besides, I don't know about you, but I feel it's my duty to accuse the right person when it comes to attempted murder.
Gabrielle, you about ready yet?
It's about all set. My bag.
A lot more relaxed than you were before?
Yes, well, that Detective Johnson has a way of putting me on edge. But at least Rafe had some good news.
Yeah. I had a talk with him on the way out to the car. He says that he's certain that this lineup's going to produce the guy that attacked you. He's pretty certain that most of them come close to your description. And some of them have an alibi that's not worth writing home about. Maybe if we're lucky, you'll ID the guy and this nightmare will be over once and for all.
Yes, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
So, how'd the exam go with Asa?
Very well. But I never make my prognosis so soon after I take over a case.
I guess you need all the information you can about a patient right up front.
Well, certainly. But I can assure you, your grandfather will get the best of care.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Listen, you gonna be around here tonight?
Yes. Why?
Well, I've got to go out for a little while, and Bo's not going to be around, and I don't like the idea of leaving Asa alone for too long.
Well, I'll be happy to look after your grandfather. After all, it is my job now, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it is, isn't it? Okay, thanks.
Night.
Good night.
It's me. Yes, I'm in place in the mansion. What about our friend in England? Has he come across with the number? He's off doing something else at the moment. Fine. Yes, he is doing a magnificent job.
Stirred, not shaken. Very dry, is that right?
Thank you, yes.
Well, did you talk to Cord?
Yes, honey, I did.
Well?
And we also introduced Asa to his new doctor, which went very, very well considering, thanks to Bo.
Thanks to... I can't take all the credit for that. All I did was find Dr. Bruner. You and Clint, you took care of the rest.
Well, what did Cord say?
Honey, I'll talk to you about that later.
Well, you know, Vicky, I was wondering if you had any plans for this evening. I'd love to take you to dinner.
Well, isn't that sweet of you? Unfortunately, or fortunately, Tom has invited Clint and me for dinner at his house.
Oh, darn. You know, Ace is probably going to be having dinner in his room, and, you know, Dr. Bruner's around there. He's a heck of a guy and a great physician, but I have nothing in common with this guy.
Well, I don't have any plans.
Tina, I apologize. I'm sorry. I didn't even think of you. I figured you must have had plans for this evening.
No, but it'd have to be something, well, you know, I don't want to make it a very late night. I want it to be early.
Well, of course. You know, whatever you want.
Well, and it should be something casual, because I don't want to have to change my clothes.
Okay. Well, I do know of a little inn. You know, it's kind of out of the way. You probably wouldn't even have to worry about what you wore. Wouldn't run into anybody that you knew.
Sounds perfect.
Doesn't it? Have a good time. I'll see you later when you get home.
Okay. Bye.
Good night.
I never knew you were such a good actor.
Well, it's about time you ate something. Wouldn't want to be weak at a time like this.
They're all gone, the guards must be.
How do you know that?
Because I've got to know their habits pretty well by now. You know what? There's even this one guy. Every night, he just passes out flat drunk because he polishes off whatever he brings to work with him in this little fat flask. Now, if he can repeat that performance, that's when we're going to make our escape.
Well, we're not going to pull this off.
Dee, don't worry, darling. I got this whole thing planned.
Okay, then tell me. I need to know what you want me to do.
I'll tell you later, all right? Dee, right now, I need you. It's just been so long.
Guess what, Uncle Roy?
What?
Hunt's ketchup is the finest ketchup in the land.
How do you know?
A little mouse told me. Mickey!